New York. It closed about 3 years ago for some expansion work, but the crisis stopped everything halfway. Since then, it's stayed this way, a mausoleum of our past that no one cares about anymore. There's my reward for having traveled halfway across Manhattan to get here. The door is open, and it certainly wasn't the caretaker who left it like that. The lock was shot in. Whoever it was had to be very Let's see. The label says the find in this case comes from Samarra, Iraq. It was displayed in room 13 before it was moved here. Iraq should be in Professor Zindler's area of expertise. I should check on the Islamic map. A map of ancient Persia. The newspaper article that I found. Samarra. That's the same name I read on one of the crates in the atrium, so its contents must be displayed in the Islamic area. It was from room 13. Now I have to find the directions to room... Now that I know that room 13 is the Islamic area, I shouldn't have any problems finding it, thanks to this map. Good. Now all I have to do is find Professor Zindler's office in room 13. There is nothing of interest in here. I must go to room... It wasn't easy, but eventually I made it to my destination. This crate is open. There's nothing inside. Professor Zindler's office. Lots of books, old photographs, and some museum pieces. The professor's office seems pretty normal. Normal if it weren't for a dead body in the middle of the room. There is no doubt that this is Professor Zindler. It's the same face I saw in the newspaper. His body is cold, but not too much. He can't have been dead more than 7 hours. And that bullet hole in his forehead makes me think that he didn't die of natural causes. Better not touch it. I'm already being investigated for Sean's death. Leaving my fingerprints on a second dead body wouldn't be a great idea. Some books are missing from this shelf, and it looks like they were taken in a hurry. The only books left are those on esotericism. On the desk, there are some drawings of spirals. They don't seem to have been done by an adult. It looks like someone slept on this sofa. The professor is at least 5'7", so he is definitely too tall for this sofa. It means it couldn't have been him using it. There's a dictaphone on the table. It looks like it was used recently. There's something on the ground. It's a wax cylinder for a dictaphone. It looks like there's a recording on it. If I could get the pieces in the... I better use this piece to help me position the others. Perfect. It looks like all the pieces fit together. Now I just need to find a way to make them stick together. This film roll contains these. I don't see how. My cigarettes. Yes, if I melt the wax on the edges, the various pieces should stick together without any problem. It looks like all the pieces are attached well. It should be okay this way. Now I only have to turn it on. It's the dictaphone. And now let's see what's on the cylinder. The cylinder is running, and the voice of a woman with a French accent comes from the dictaphone's small speaker. She introduces herself as Michelle Nicholas from the Congregation of Five. The message was recorded for the professor and explains the details of a plan to get him and the girl out of the museum. According to the plan, a man sent from the congregation will come to pick up the professor and bring him and the girl to a safe house. The recording ends with the woman thanking the professor for having taken the girl away from a city with an incomprehensible name. A French woman, a congregation with a pretentious name, and a professor that kidnaps girls. A lot of information for my already confused head. So it was the professor who brought the girl here. This explains many things. Sean was probably one of the men who was supposed to get the professor and the girl, according to Michelle Nicholas's plan. But something must have gone wrong, and Zindler is the one who paid the price for it. I remember an organization called the Congregation of Five being mentioned in the incision. Maybe the police archives could be helpful this time as well.
Let me guess. We have to go somewhere.
The police department, Hoboken.
We see.